The Borden murders are among the most infamous unsolved crimes in American history, filled with mystery, scandal, and speculation. In 1892, the brutal slayings of Andrew and Abby Borden shocked the quiet town of Fall River, Massachusetts, and left a legacy of suspicion that endures to this day. Stay with us as we delve into the chilling story of the Borden murders and the shocking trial of Lizzie Borden. On the morning of August 4, 1892, the Borden household was shattered by a gruesome discovery. Andrew Borden, a wealthy but notoriously frugal businessman, was found dead on the couch in the sitting room, his face brutally bludgeoned with a sharp weapon. Just upstairs, the body of his wife, Abby Borden, was discovered in a similar state, lying in a pool of blood in the guest bedroom. She had been struck multiple times with a hatchet-like object, her skull shattered by repeated blows. Inside the house at the time of the murders were Andrew's daughters, 32-year-old Lizzie Borden and her older sister Emma, who was away visiting friends, along with the family's maid, Bridget Sullivan. The brutality of the attacks stunned the community, and suspicion quickly turned to Lizzie, the last person to see her father alive, and the one who discovered his body. Lizzie's behavior in the hours and days following the murders was unusual, and raised eyebrows among investigators. She provided conflicting statements about her whereabouts during the murders, initially claiming she was in the barn looking for fishing sinkers. However, her story was inconsistent, and her calm demeanor seemed odd given the horrific events unfolding around her. Adding to the suspicion was a witness who claimed to have seen Lizzie burning a dress shortly after the murders, a garment she said was stained with paint, but many believed it was covered in blood. Despite these suspicious circumstances, the evidence against Lizzie was largely circumstantial. There were no eyewitnesses, and the murder weapon was never definitively identified, though a hatchet with a broken handle was found in the basement of the Borden home. The community was divided. Many couldn't believe that a respectable, church-going woman from a prominent family could commit such a heinous act. Lizzie Borden was arrested and charged with the murders, and her trial began in June 1893. It became a national sensation, drawing widespread media attention and captivating the public. The prosecution argued that Lizzie had killed her father and stepmother out of anger and resentment, fueled by long-standing family tensions and the restrictive control her father had over her life. They painted a picture of a woman trapped in a loveless home, desperate for freedom and financial independence. The defense, however, portrayed Lizzie as a dutiful daughter and respectable member of society who could never commit such a brutal crime. They highlighted the lack of direct evidence linking her to the murders and cast doubt on the prosecution's case. Perhaps the most powerful argument came when Lizzie's defense team pointed out the impossibility of her committing the murders without being covered in blood, something no one witnessed. After a dramatic 2-week trial, the jury deliberated for just 90 minutes before delivering their verdict, not guilty. Lizzie was acquitted of all charges, but the court of public opinion remained divided. Despite her acquittal, Lizzie's reputation was forever tarnished, and she lived the rest of her life in Fall River as a social pariah, haunted by the shadow of the murders. To this day, the question of who killed Andrew and Abby Borden remains unanswered. While many continue to believe Lizzie was guilty, others have speculated about alternative suspects, including the family maid Bridget, or even an unknown intruder. The lack of definitive evidence means that the true story of what happened in the Borden home may never be known.